That's the sort of women I like to have around in my life. Smart, can take a joke, and knows that I will probably end up killing myself if they aren't there to protect me from myself. Not on purpose, mind you, just accidental. I'll do something like, boy, putting this flamethrower inside of my car might be kind of neat. Thanks, Elon Musk. And she'll be like, that's a stupid idea. And I'll go, oh, yes, fair enough. Well, guess that's off the table. That or she'll keep the flamethrower. It's like, yes, we can get a flamethrower, but you're not allowed to use it unless I say so. Ah, oh, for God's sake. Thank you. It's like, come now, children, get out of my way. I need to get back to the staircase. Is it this way? Yes, alright. There we go. I like that description. A woman smart enough to stop me from using a flamethrower, but a woman who's cool enough that she'd be okay with me owning a flamethrower. If that makes any sense. I'm also gonna get off this conversation because I'm sick of talking about it. If you're a girl and I like you, you know I like you, because I keep talking to you. If I don't talk to you, it's probably because I don't particularly care for you. Or don't know you, before I alienate any females who happen to be watching this. All 3 of you. Because as established, I'm an idiot, and people don't listen to me. I generally find women are smart enough to know not to listen to me. They'll go and find some sensible person to listen to. For a moment I almost said like foul motion, but then I remembered I'm actually... Well, I can talk about him, he's not watching. Compared to Foul, I'm a self-aware, polite, eccentric sort of fellow. Foul's a goddamn weirdo sometimes around women. You watch his playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club, he says some odd things, particularly in the beginning. Once it starts getting, you know, weird and murdery... Ooh, spoilers, but, you know, if you haven't really... If you don't know how that game goes at this point, that's your fault. Kinda. But, yeah, he has some odd comments concerning Doki Doki Literature Club. Still, though, it's fun watching him, get yelled at by all the girls there. Well, one of the girls, naturally. That game got me at one point. I sort of suspected Silly Buggers was up, with the fourth wall breaking. It went farther than I thought it would, naturally, but, the only part that really got me was, apparently there's a bit where, towards the end, they check either your Steam or your, I don't know why I defended. Oh, fuck, it escaped this damn tree. They check either your Steam or your computer to see what your actual name is and see if you've, actually put that in to the game. So, because I've sort of dropped the lad part of my name, that was a name I came up with when I was in grade 9, when I was still actually a lad, and I'm more of an adult now, so I've sort of dropped the lad from my name. But, or at least tried to drop the lad. It is a force of habit, as to a degree. But, yes, I went by Token when I played the game, and they called me out on that. Said, Token, if that is your real name, or do you actually go by Token Lad or something? And, I kind of freaked out at that. I was like, no, stop it. You're not allowed to pull that nonsense with me, I'll have you know. I tried to get Kaida to play it. I told her, it's like, you should play it immediately. It's free. You will like it very much. What's that? A tag that says psychological horror? Oh, you should definitely ignore that. Wink, wink. But, she completely missed the hint, and didn't get around to playing it herself, and as a result it was sort of spoiled for her. And when it was spoiled for her, she was going, I wish I had played it on my own. To which point I said, yeah, I told you to. I'd have gifted it to her if it wasn't free. You can't gift free games, it's a waste of time and energy. I tried to tell her, you will like it, play it. Seriously, play it. Don't look up anything about it, just play it. She wasn't having any of that, and she suffered as a result. She's very bad about that. She's also very bad about spoilers. When we first met, we were talking about video games, and she asked if I had played Persona 4. And I said, yes, I had. And she goes, oh, did you get the proper ending? And I said, yes, I did. I know what's-his-name's behind it all. There's ending... I think there's 3 or 4 endings, but in one of the endings, the culprit, as it were, is sort of obscured, but you can fight him if you do something differently. And the culprit that I mentioned is sort of the constable, deputy of the police department, or whatever you want to say. So I fought him, and I thought, oh good, the game's all said and done with. But she asks, ooh, did you get the proper ending? And I go, yes, I beat that guy. And she goes, that's not the proper ending. And I go, wait, what? And she goes, yes, it was so-and-so the whole time. And I go, what the fu- why would you tell me that? She's like, what? And I'm like, maybe you could have just told me, oh no, you need to play it again. For the real proper ending, wink wink. Don't just tell me who the bad guy is. She goes, well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk about it. It's like you spoiled the game for me. You should have just said, ooh, play it again, you're missing something. But make sure you do X, Y, and Z. Honestly, if you ask me, though, without spoiling it like she did, even though it's a many-years-old game at this point, I don't particularly like that plot twist. See, I think the plot twist that it was the police deputy was quite good. You know, I think they improved it in Persona 4 Golden, because in Persona 4, I figured it out really quickly that he was the bad guy. My line of logic being he's on screen far too much and getting way too much screen time for him to just be a sort of ordinary character. He must be up to something. But, yes, in Golden he is a social link, which justifies why he's on screen so much. Which, if you don't know what a social link is, it basically means you have to interact with them a bunch, so don't worry about it. But yes, that sort of made up for the whole, ooh, he's on screen a whole lot bit. So... did a door open somewhere? I wonder. So yes, I thought that plot twist made perfect sense, and that they improved it greatly in Golden, making it not as easy to pick up on, since interacting with him is required, if you want a sort of complete playthrough like Kaida normally goes through. Meanwhile, the actual person who was behind it all, unbeknownst to me for most of my time having played and beaten it, there's a mastermind behind even that, someone who granted Mr. Policeman his powers that he's using for evil. And I kind of don't care for that plot twist, because it's a character you meet maybe like twice, and have 5 lines of dialogue with, and completely forget about. And while to a degree I can respect the "ooh, I've completely forgotten about them" aspect, it is a bit dumb, you know? Like, I mean, really. What the hell? Why would you ever do that? It's this character you could not have possibly predicted as is. Well, you haven't really fooled me, have you? It'd be like if I said, ooh, plot twist, my name's not actually Adam, it's Gregory! It's like, yeah, okay, you didn't see it coming, and there's no way... Strictly speaking, it's kind of a twist that my name isn't what I've been telling you, but, you know, you would have no reason to suspect that. At no point you're like, ooh, maybe his name's not Adam. Is he hiding something? No, it's... Oh, the golems. They're not bad poetry golems, so I don't... Oh, there's onions and frogs, too? Jesus. Tough golems. Fuck it. Go for a fight, why not? Rosalind, kill those frogs. Well... No, I can't switch between them. Well... Kill the onion, then. Ari, also kill the frogs. God damn it. Frogs! Kill the frog. Oh, figs. Ari, kill the tough golem? Oh, they're both gonna... Rosalind might not survive this. How about you have a nut there, Rosalind? Oh. Well, alright then. Jesus, tough my foot! These guys are pushovers! Fury is supposed to boost your attack. That's all they did? And Linda took... Well, she took more than one. She took 9, I think. Thought it said 1. Turns out it was 9. So yes, what's another good example? Oh... I'm trying to think of a comparable analogy I can make in terms of video games or popular stories where there's a plot twist and it's like, ooh, no, it was this person. Alright, so you know how in Star Wars it's like, no, Luke, I am your father. It would be like if at the end of film 6, film 3, number 6, whatever you want to call it, the Return of the Jedi. Yes, it would be like if there was a post-credits scene where it goes, oh, by the way, you remember that one guy in the bar who talked to Luke and was like, I don't like you, my friend doesn't like you either. He was actually the bad guy the entire time. He was just sort of slumming it that day, but, ooh, he's the dastard behind the Empire. It's like, what? That guy, who we forgot about? I would have no reason to ever suspect is up to anything ever? He's behind it all? That's a bit dumb, don't you think? So yes, I don't care for that plot twist. Apparently the boss fight's quite fun with that character, but I wouldn't know. I didn't bother playing. Someone ruined the ending for me. Funny that. She hates when I bring that up, by the way. Which is why I'm bringing it up so much. Because it's fun to tease her. On the other hand, she has, like... for that one string to my bow, in terms of teasing her... Well, I have 2, really. She's also kind of short. For those 2 strings to my bow, she's got about 10,000. So, eh. There's not really much I can tease her about. Short in the fact that she spoiled an ending for me. Everything else she just kind of accepts about herself. She plays games in a mind-boggling way of basically looking up strategies of, ooh, I want to do this, and then writing down, like, steps and checking guides on how to get there, which I think is the stupidest thing in the world. I say play the game, dive right in, explore for yourself. But I try and make fun of her for that, and she just goes, yeah. It's like, ooh, you do this, man, it's so weird and silly, and she's like, yeah. You're like, well, fuck. I'm kind of out of ammo, aren't I? How can I combat, well, yeah? You can't, is the point. It's perfect defense. Like, so what? Well, that's weird. It's like, Yeah, and? Well, you shouldn't do it, but I do. Well, why? Because that's what I like doing. Well, I can't fault you for that. I think you're robbing yourself of a perfectly good experience by doing that, but, that's just my opinion, isn't it? If you like doing it, and you have fun doing that, I'm not gonna stop you. Oh, Jesus. These alligators are gonna stop me. Loser crocodiles? Oh man, those guys, they're real losers. I'm sorry, did I say loser crocodile? I meant the foul crocodiles. Let's ditch these losers. Later, you losers. Fucking bunch of jerks. Who wants to hang out with those guys, am I right? A bunch of losers. Last one's always worst one to find. Ah! Well. Don't know how we're gonna get to that. Oh god, we have to go around the long way. Ah, well, that one's open at least. Figs. Ah, I see. Yay! At least that'll clear out this floor. There's a good spot to end the sit-down coming up, but at the same time, I might want to start with that, because I quite like that bit. Although, it's tricky. There's a long cutscene coming up at the back of this sewer. But at the same time, it would make for a very good intro, I think. It could be a good cliffhanger, I suppose. Was that not the last urn? Oh, that's going to be annoying. If it wasn't. I don't think it was. Normally it's like, ooh, that was the last urn. And it was not. There's still ghosts. Well, I guess that solves the mystery of what I'm going to do. You? Didn't I kill you? Robbing rat. Oh, shit. Don't just stand there. Ice these rats. Jesus. Well played, Linda. Oh, and someone's now available to play stuff. Which is good, since I'm almost done. I'll inform them they made it, into the last couple minutes of recording. Well, they didn't rob me, at least. We're nearly done. God, I still have to pee. Remember the beginning a couple episodes ago? And I was like, oh, I'm 6 minutes in and I need to pee. Well, that hasn't changed. I didn't take a break at any point during those last couple episodes. I usually record these in batches of 4. There we go. Ah, finally! We can get this last urn. Which I think is... back over this way. Then once we... oh, God's sakes. Even worth fighting? No, it's probably not worth fighting these guys. After we beat this last urn, the floor beneath us will open up. I'll go upstairs and save the game, and that'll be it. That was quite appropriate, actually. Beat Linda, cleared out a dungeon. We're stopping right before an excellent part to start my next sit-down. As gameplay-wise, it's tedious and boring, but narrative-wise, it's one of my favorite moments in any bit of fiction ever. I have a couple favorite moments that stand out. What's coming up is one of them. Another one I quite like referencing is, if you've ever read Pet Shop of Horrors... No, I do not mean Little Shop of Horrors, I mean Pet Shop of Horrors. There's a bit towards the end I think is one of the best written pieces I've ever seen, particularly in a manga. It's easily one of the best pieces I've ever read in a manga. It stands out in my mind as a fantastic moment of character and world building. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it involves a character recognizing other characters that normally you don't think he would be able to. I guess it's not really much of a spoiler if I just say it. It's really more the events around why he's... well, whatever, I'll just say it. So, if you read Pet Shop of Horrors, fairly early on, it's established that the pets within the shop are quite odd, and some of them are, in fact, human-esque and have personality traits and types and wants and needs and their own desires. They're more than just animals. And, certain characters can see the truth of this, but one of our characters, sort of, arguably the main guy we're following around, well, that's the end of the episode, arguably the main guy we're following around cannot, and there's a bit at the end where he does, in fact, see them for what they truly are rather than animals, but he still recognizes them. Like, all the animals have names, like, oh, this is Rupert the raccoon, or something like that. He still, even though they are no longer seen to him as raccoons, given the situation he is in, he still immediately recognizes them as, like, Rupert and Sandra and other, you know, names, even though they are no longer animals and are in human form. And it's not made a huge deal, this, but, I think that's one of the best pieces, one of the best things I've ever read written out like that. He doesn't question it, he just instantly and instinctively knows who these people are because he spent so much time in the pet shop, yet it doesn't even occur to him that they're not animals. He just automatically knows. I quite like that moment. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I've been Token Lad. Talk to you later, Shrewd Negotiators, and see you around Ask Clowns.